If you live in St. Louis, you most likely use a car to get around. But did you know, before the Great Depression, a lot of automobiles were manufactured locally? Photojournalist Randy Swinker had a chance to catch up with co-authors of a new book featuring St. Louis's automotive history.
The horseless carriage changed St. Louis.
This was one of those, in my mind, dark corners of history that people aren't aware of.
As manufacturing goes, beer was big in St. Louis, but the automotive industry quickly raced to the top.
In the mid-1920s, there were roughly about 28 different manufacturers.
Makers like Doris, Moon, and Gardner. People making tracks to Kings Highway, Delmar, and downtown.
Such as this, the Locust Street Automobile Row. That's a great eye into St. Louis's past.
Up and down the street, there's just building after building with a wonderful history going back to the teens and 20s and 30s primarily.
Like Small Batch, a trendy restaurant which held on to the past.
So originally this building was a Ford Model T showroom. This is the original tile floor. It's hard to even do this kind of tile work anymore because this was all hand laid.
Molly Butterworth and Thomas Eisel are in the driver's seat when it comes to St. Louis car history.
Writing this book definitely was a joint venture.
Interesting things I found in doing the research was a story about Babe Ruth. In Game 4 in Sportsman's Park here in St. Louis, hit a home run out of the park, smashed the car dealership window across the street from Sportsman's Park, and of course then they wound up giving him a car and creating an advertisement out of it.
Early ideas that merged into modern vehicles.
First floats in carburetors were invented here. Auto Front Drive was building chain-driven front-wheel drive vehicles by 1906. George Doris was one of the first to build refrigerated truck bodies. Both he and Anheuser-Busch were running neck and neck to do that.
In recent times, the automotive industry has hit some bumpy roads.
But the fact is, Missouri remains 7th in the country in terms of automobile business, in terms of the largest states doing business, and there are almost 200,000 auto-related jobs in the state of Missouri to this day.
Randy Schwenker, 5 on your side.